What's good? It's Woog. Please like the video, subscribe to the channel if you love music like I do. Let's talk about Dr. Dre's upcoming Super Bowl halftime show performance. Well, first of all, congratulations to Snoop Dogg, for acquiring Death Row Records. I mean, you want to talk about coming full circle. Snoop Dogg in like the 90s was essentially an employee, albeit a very prominent, high profile and celebrated one. But yeah, to come back 20 plus years later and buy the company that basically helped put you on. I mean, if that's not the American dream, I don't know what is. And granted, like he doesn't own like the masters to all of Death Row's catalog, and I don't know in 2022 how much brand value there is in Death Row Records. I mean, it is still one of the most iconic labels, but in terms of what it's got going on for it right now operationally, it's pretty much been a couple decades since Death Row was an actual relevant player in the game. But we'll see what Snoop Dogg's plans are for his newly acquired iconic label Death Row Records. But yeah, hats off to the dog on that one. But Dr. Dre's Super Bowl halftime show. Now, one thing about these, halftime shows, which this one's going to take place at SoFi Stadium in Inglewood, California. Right now, I am shooting out of Long Beach, California, about 15, maybe 20 minutes away. Just got to take the 405 up to Inglewood. It's close to LAX, but SoFi Stadium, home of the LA Rams right now, and Chargers. But I mean, man, if the Rams got bumped out of the playoffs by the 49ers and were pretty much denied entry into their own Super Bowl by their rivals, that would have been disastrous. So yeah, I'm glad that worked out for the LA Rams. But these Super Bowl halftime performances are generally like 12 to 15 minutes long. So the fact that it's going to be Dr. Dre plus his guests, who are his guests, Snoop Dogg, Mary J Blige, Eminem, and Kendrick Lamar, all people who Dr. Dre on some level has collaborated with. So, a lot of people are like, okay, is Dr. Dre going to play this or that, or some of the new stuff? He just released those Grand Theft Auto songs with like Busta Rhymes and Anderson .Paak and Snoop Dogg, and then the other song with Eminem. But I don't think he's going to be doing any new stuff. This is the Super Bowl halftime show. This isn't like a private event album premiere where you're kind of taste testing it among listeners. This has got to be stuff that is super recognizable to even the most general of audiences. You can't act like you are playing to hardcore rap fans here. This is basically putting a spotlight on LA rap culture, even though Mary J Blige is from Yonkers, New York, Eminem is from Detroit. But this is basically like a spotlighting LA rap culture to the world, or at least, that brand of, we could still call it gangster rap culture to the world, even though Kendrick Lamar is a conscious rapper. I get it. But this is a huge opportunity for one of the most well-deserving living legends in music, let alone hip hop. I mean, in music. The stamp and the imprint that Dr. Dre has made in music is undeniable. So this is a shot. Super Bowl halftime show, it doesn't get more mainstream than that. So 12 to 15 minutes, you've got to basically make every minute count here. So I think that since there's so many players who will be taking the stage, I think it's going to seem like it goes by like that. Like you're going to get one person pop up for maybe a song or two and then kind of fade to the back. Now, what songs should we expect Dr. Dre and company to play? I've got to say, if we're talking, okay, with Dr. Dre, in terms of his solo stuff, Nuthin But a G Thang, which, obviously features Snoop Dogg, 1, 2, 3 into the foe. One of the most iconic lines of rap history. Nuthin But a G Thang, I would say Still Dre, Still D.R.E, which was the lead single from Dr. Dre 2001. I would say The Next Episode, that's one of the most, as soon as it comes on, it's like everybody's, heard that before. So Next Episode, I think's got to be a part of it. I don't think he's going to do Keep Their Heads Ringing. I recently did a video on, is Keep Their Heads Ringing like Dr. Dre's forgotten classic? I don't think that one's going to make the cut here. It was a phenomenal song in 1995, but I don't think it's going to be a part of this Super Bowl halftime show. I think that he's going to do one of the ones where he collabs with Eminem. On Next Episode, he obviously has, a couple collaborators. I don't think Corrupt is necessarily going to be. It would be cool if Corrupt shows up. I know Snoop's going to be there, but it's Dr. Dre going to do Forgot About Dre with Eminem and his legendary verse, which, dropped between the Slim Shady and the Marshall Mathers LP. Eminem was like as hot as ever at that point. I hope Dr. Dre doesn't do I Need a Doctor. I know that they were, elevating that song. That's the one with Dre, Eminem, and Skylar Grey. I imagine if they do it, they might replace Skylar Grey perhaps with Mary J Blige, since she's already a part of this Super Bowl halftime lineup. But I hope they don't do I Need a Doctor, because I just never really cared for that song as much as they were pushing it. I just don't want to necessarily see it here. So again, 12 to 15 minutes, nothing but a G Thang, still Dre. Next episode, probably forgot about Dre. I would think that might be it for Dr. Dre's solo stuff. I don't think like Let Me Ride or With Dre Day, the Eazy-E diss, are going to be a part of this. I don't think Explosive or What's the Difference from Dr. Dre 2001 are going to be a part of this. Do you feature California Love? Now, this is another question about this halftime show. This is obviously going to feature Dre and company, but it are all of the songs, because this is as much about Dre. This is more about Dre than it is his guest. This is Dre bringing his guest along. So as hot as Kendrick Lamar is, this isn't a Kendrick Lamar show. So I don't think you're going to get a bunch of non-Dr. Dre produced Kendrick Lamar songs, which there are really only a couple Dr. Dre produced Kendrick Lamar songs. Like, is it going to be Women, Weed, and Weather? I don't think so. So is it going to be like Swimming Pools? We Gonna Be All Right? Bitch Don't Kill My Vibe? Humble? King Kunta? Like, Dr. Dre didn't produce any of these. So is Kendrick Lamar actually going to get stage time in only this 12 to 15 minute show to do his songs that have, essentially musically nothing really to do with Dr. Dre? I don't think so. But then it's almost like, why have Kendrick Lamar up there if his songs outside of Women, Weed, and Weather and maybe tell me what else Dr. Dre produced of Kendrick Lamar's he's gonna actually perform. So that remains a bit of a mystery. But do you play California Love? Because it is a Dr. Dre produced song. He does have the opening verse. I don't know if they're gonna bring out a Tupac hologram or anything like that, but that was such a mega song. And that's one of, till this day, the most recognizable. It's a Tupac song, but, Dre influenced, Dre inspired songs. California Love might be like at the top, at or near the top of that list. Mega song. I have trouble. It was in the promo, I believe, right? They were playing the California Love chorus or beat. That's as Dr. Dre as it gets. So, and this is a Super Bowl halftime show in Los Angeles. I just don't see how you don't in some way feature at least a part of California Love. So what about Eminem? Again, is it only going to be Dr. Dre produced songs? Because like a lot of Eminem's classics are either Eminem produced or they are Jeff Bass, like on the Slim Shady LP. It was Jeff Bass that did I Just Don't Give a F, Still Don't Give a F, Rock Bottom. The ones that Dr. Dre produced from the Slim Shady LP were like Hi, My Name Is, Guilty Conscience, Role Model. So I don't think we're going to get Guilty Conscience, even though that was a pretty popular single at the time. I don't think we're going to get that. Although, again, Dr. Dre did produce it. I don't think we're going to get Hi, My Name Is. I don't think we're going to get any of those early Slim Shady LP, Marshall Mathers LP singles or the Eminem Show singles. None of those lead singles. I don't think we're going to hear Hi, My Name Is, The Real Slim Shady, or Without Me. Because, again, you only have 12 to 15 minutes to work with. What you might get from Eminem is, again, I hope they don't do his verse on I Need a Doctor. I don't want to hear any I Need a Doctor. Maybe Lose Yourself. That's one of Eminem's biggest songs, even though that's an Eminem produced song. So again, do you give a non-Dre artist a spotlight on a non-Dr. Dre produced song during the Dr. Dre halftime show? Maybe you don't get Lose Yourself, even though that's probably Eminem's biggest song. So it's almost tough to imagine Eminem doing any sort of a performance, especially with the theme of You Lose Yourself being you've got this one shot moment type of thing. You almost have to feature Lose Yourself, don't you? Now, if you feature Lose Yourself, I almost feel like you cannot do Till I Collapse. They're too similarly produced. Till I Collapse features Nate Dogg on the hook. Till I Collapse came out on the Eminem Show, which came out in the same year, but just before the 8 Mile soundtrack, which is the one that featured Lose Yourself. So it almost felt like when I heard Lose Yourself for the first time, it almost felt like, wait, this sounds a lot like the song that we just heard. Great song. Till I Collapse. I love that Eminem song, but you can't do both, I feel like. And if you had to pick one, I feel like you kind of have to go with Lose Yourself. So if they do either Lose Yourself or Till I Collapse, I hope they don't do Not Afraid. I know that's a big Eminem song. It's not a Dr. Dre produced song, and I just hope we don't see Not Afraid. I don't want to see Crack a Bottle. That was on Eminem's Relapse album. It features Dr. Dre. It features 50 Cent, which raises another question. Do you play in the club? That, like California Love, is one of the biggest Dr. Dre influenced or Dr. Dre produced songs out of his whole catalog. One of the biggest rap songs in rap history. In the club, like, do you feature as a secret, special, unannounced guest 50 Cent to just perform in the club? I don't know what his working relationship is with Dr. Dre right now. I know that Dr. Dre came out to support 50 Cent when he had one of his big TV show premieres with stars. So I think that it's possible we might see 50 Cent pull a cameo and perform one of Dre's greatest classics in the club. Again, we're only working with 12 to 15 minutes, so I feel like you've got to make this count. So don't you want the Super Bowl halftime show to basically remind everybody how mega the biggest of your songs are? So I think we might see 50 Cent and In the Club. I hope so. And again, I don't want to hear Crack a Bottle, even though that song did hit #1 on the Billboard or on the Hot 100. Don't want Crack a Bottle. Do want In the Club. I don't think we're going to get the Eminem produced Eminem song, The Way I Am. That was I sit back with this bag of zigzags and this very revolutionary rhyme scheme on that song. That was major. That was so cool when that song dropped on the Marshall Mathers LP. But I don't think we're going to hear The Way I Am. Dre also produced Role Model, which I don't think we'll hear and see. You know, maybe we get one of those three songs. Either My Name Is, The Real Slim Shady, or Without Me. Because I believe Dr. Dre, he produced all three of those. I'd have to go back and look, but I think that those are all three either Dr. Dre produced or co-produced Eminem songs. So maybe one of those three. I don't think we get Just Lose It. Ha, 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 ha. Nah, I don't want to hear that one. So, again, Eminem, we might get one of those three songs. I think we get Lose Yourself or Till I Collapse, one or the other. And then I think we get Eminem's featured verse on Dr. Dre's Forgot About Dre. So I think that's the Eminem we're going to get here. How about Mary J Blige? I think we're going to get Family Affair. That might be all we get from Mary J Blige. I don't think we're going to get like Not Gonna Cry or I'm Going Down or Real Love or any of her other classics. You know, she's got a lot of very good songs and classics. She's got a huge discography, but I think that we might only get Family Affair because that is a Dr. Dre produced Mary J Blige song. So what about Snoop Dogg? Snoop Dogg. I think we're going to get, and by the way, he is releasing an album. Same weekend as Super Bowl weekend. He might have dropped it today, but he's releasing an album, which is smart. I mean, he announced that purchasing D.R.E. He's dropping an album. Yeah, Snoop is gearing up for this Super Bowl halftime thing, and he's trying to make it count as much as possible from a publicity standpoint. But yeah, we're going to get a lot of Snoop because it almost felt like, especially early in Dre's D.R.E. portion of his career, it almost seemed like him and Snoop were like joined at the hip. There were so many like classic collaborations between the two. Snoop featured all over Dr. Dre's solo debut album, The Chronic. So we're going to get Snoop's verse, I believe, on Nuthin But a G Thang. The next episode, still D.R.E. You know, you're not gonna be able to play the totality of any of these songs, I don't think, because you're working with such a tight time. But we are gonna hear a Snoop Dogg verse, maybe just like the first minute to a minute and a half of all of those collabs. Nuthin But a G Thang, still D.R.E. and the next episode. But what solo Snoop songs, if any, are you gonna get? Maybe What's My Name? Maybe Gin and Juice. The other two that would be in contention, I think, would be Drop It Like It's Hot, although that's a Neptunes produced beat. Beautiful, I believe, is also a Neptunes Pharrell produced beat. So those are basically Snoop Dogg's like 4 most prominent songs. Correct me if I'm wrong. I have to go back and see if he has any better performing or more iconic solo songs than those four. I know he's got like, you know, Ain't No Fun If the Homies Can't Have None, but like this is the Super Bowl halftime show. This has got to be a little bit more family friendly than that. So I don't think we're gonna get some of the other great songs from you know, Doggy Style, like his cover of Lottie Dottie or It's a Doggy Dog World or The Shiznit, any of that. I think it's gonna be, if any, solo Snoop songs. What's My Name? Because it might just be Snoop's, only his collabs with Dr. Dre, because it's such a tight time constraint. I can't overstate that. And we're talking about 5 artists that we know that are going to pop up at different times here. Like, are we going to get anything from Anderson .Paak or even a cameo from Anderson .Paak? Who the hell knows? Especially if you're going to try to weave in perhaps 50 Cent within the club. So with Snoop, if we're going to get any solo stuff, I think it's got to be What's My Name, Gin and Juice, and then maybe either like Drop It Like It's Hot, like the first verse or something, or Beautiful. But I wouldn't be surprised if we don't see in either of those two Pharrell Neptunes produce Snoop Dogg songs. So to wrap it up really quickly, I would guess that we're gonna get. Damn, I wish he did. I wish we had more time. That's what I wish we had more time than 12 to 15 minutes for the Super Bowl halftime show. I would love to hear Keep Their Heads Ringing, but I think we're going to get Nuthin But a G Thang, Still Dre, the next episode, Forgot About Dre, probably Lose Yourself, Mary J Blige's Family Affair, Kendrick Lamar. I'm still at a loss. I still don't know where we go. Does he premiere a new song? I don't know, because it's not Kendrick Lamar, unlike Snoop Dogg, unlike Eminem. Kendrick himself doesn't have a lot of Dr. Dre produced songs in the way that they do. So I don't know how that one's gonna work out. Snoop Dogg, I think we're gonna get What's My Name and Gin and Juice, and maybe Drop It Like It's Hot or Beautiful, something like that. But yeah, let me know what you think. And again, I think we should get some variation or some portion of California Love, and I wouldn't be surprised if we get some 50 Cent in the club. But yeah, let me know what you think about this in the comments. I can't wait to check this out. Like the video, subscribe to the channel if you love music like I do. I'm Woog. Thanks for tuning in.